and welcome to another awesome podcast. And as per usual, I just want to say that my name is Sarah, and I have with me.
That's me, Leo, and thanks for joining us today.
And I'm Ace. How you doing?
All right, so today's podcast is going to be a little bit different. And as you can see, I am your host, and I usually do not host as much. Usually like to be a little bit behind the scenes, peeking on the side on your left screen or your right screen, but you already know that. So, but I am here today, and we just have a little bit of an exciting kind of announcement for you. Don't want to give too much away, but if you like to hear what we have to say and you like our content and you just want to keep following along with us and even maybe stay for the video a little bit longer than what you have right now. Since you're already here, how about you like and subscribe to our channel? And just a little sneak peek at the bottom, I think you see something different, but let's get into it a little bit more, huh? How about that? Let's go, Leo. Tell me what you want to say.
Whoa, Sarah. Yeah, we decided we needed to kind of just change some stuff up, and it kind of started out of nowhere. We just decided to start talking, record ourselves, and decided to post it, and it became something we just wanted to keep doing. So it was a lot of fun. We had to, out of nowhere, came up with a name. I believe one of our founding members, Jonathan, who we hope at some point can come back and join us for a session or two. Came up with the name Catastrophe. I believe it was him. And we just kind of went with it, and we have not been able to figure out a name since. But now we got a little bit more time and some more focus that we can, lend to this. So we decided let's go ahead and change it up. And I'm happy with what we were able to do, the things we were able to figure out and kind of change throughout the last year and a half or so that we did this. So. We started off just talking about random stuff, then some movie stuff, and now we kind of figured we want to try different things. So we do definitely just want to talk about things that we love and that we're definitely really passionate about, and looking forward to it.
So since again I wasn't really part of the founding fathers, can you tell me a little bit more of how that happened? Ace, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, so it
started with a phone call.
It started with a phone. It started with a phone call. Our mutual friend Adrian, he called me and is like, "Hey, me talking about himself, me, Leo, JV wanted to record. He's like, we want to record a song on Zoom, and he's like, we want you to. And he's like, yeah, you should be part of it. I'm like, okay, cool. And I think it was like I Want It That Way. Backstreet Boys. It was weird. I don't know. It was one of those calls you get at 10 in the night. I'm like, well, okay, I'm down. Sure, it'd be fun.
I feel like it was later than cover. That even.
Oh, yeah. No.
Well, I mean, for me, because at the time I was in Pacific Standard Time, so I was 2 hours behind you guys. But okay. So long story short, it was not working because Zoom. It was weird, and it was just not working. So we just scrapped that idea, and then our friend JV,
it's out there somewhere.
It's probably out there somewhere. I don't know if we actually released it, but it might
be. We did not release it, but it's somewhere.
Yeah. So then, like Leo was saying, our mutual friend Jonathan, we call him JV. He's like, hey, why don't we just start a podcast? And that's pretty much it. We like Leo said, we started talking about random stuff. One of our first ones was our favorite Pokemon, and then another one was our favorite video games, stuff like that. And then as time went by, a couple members they for reasons, time wise, commitment wise, adulting, pretty much. They couldn't continue. So pretty much after that, it was me and Leo, and then Sarah came on, and so this is pretty much what the transformations that it's been through for the past year. I think it's been a year, hasn't it? Something like that. We started this.
Yeah, a little over a year, but
a little over a year, something like that.
Never really became super consistent. We wanted a podcast, but we never really followed a podcast format.
Yeah, because we were all new to this, and And it's still like more for fun, but at the same time, we want to start taking this more serious. So that's why we were thinking of coming up with a name, and we couldn't, and we didn't know what name to do, and then adulting and life came in the way, and we didn't really think about it. And then one day we're like, okay, let's just sit down and hash this out. And so Ardent came about. So Sarah, why don't you tell us what Ardent means?
Yeah, for sure.
And more importantly,
Again,
how we came to choose that. More
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty much.
no, for sure. Yeah, like wasn't part of the founding fathers. Totally high five to all of you that were like first in this podcast. And then I remember being a fan, and I actually watched your guys' podcast as I was doing my own schoolwork. So it was pretty cool. And then the more I got to hear you guys and different perspectives, the more that I really got interested in it. And then one day I kind of just called up my brother down there. He's right there. I was just like, hey, so would you guys like to have a non-biased female perspective and that doesn't really know much about what you guys are talking about, but is very interested sometimes? And he was like, I mean, why not hop on one time? So that's kind of how I came into the group and whatnot. But I really started just to kind of see like, hey, what are we about? I saw that we like to talk about a bunch of different things. And then from there, well, I can see why Catastrophe kind of hit pretty cool. And the time being whenever it was the first name go around. Again, I didn't know the story of how it all came to be because I wasn't there. But this second one, I wanted that way. I think we're gonna have to play a little clip of that, maybe.
It's probably destroyed.
Yeah,
Probably
I don't
destroyed in a
even know
fire
if
somewhere.
JV actually kept the file. We have to probably ask him.
Was it him that recorded it?
I think it was him that recorded it. So I don't
Maybe
know.
he hasn't
I
deleted
don't
it,
know
you
if he
better.
has the file, but we'll reach out and if he does, I'll probably play a snippet of it. Maybe. No
Yeah, for
promises.
No promises. But yeah, and then so as we started doing a little bit more of just talking about the different, TV shows as you've seen, like how we covered WandaVision, how we covered the different types of movies, different news things. It was pretty awesome getting to see all that build up. And then finally, one time we kind of all came together. We're like, our name doesn't really fit with what we're trying to do anymore. And I was like, yeah, how did that kind of go about? And then they were explaining that to me. And so I said, well, if we're going to do this a little bit more, official, a little bit more presentable, and like so people can kind of get to our platform a lot easier. Catastrophe, again, great first name, great but like as we started growing and actually started honing down on our craft, we wanted something that fit our channel.
Yeah, we'd always thought like, this name doesn't really fit, but we never really had the time to like sit down and really think about something. And when we finally did, it was great. And yeah, we've been wanting to do this for a while as far as like changing our like image and the name just to make it a little bit easier, because especially when like friends ask me what's the name of your channel, and I'm like, I'll show you. Like I want to just say it.
A little bit harder.
This is definitely like way easier to say.
And yeah, so how it came about though, we all started brainstorming differently. I know that I kind of took some concepts of like, okay, well, what's the first video game we played, or maybe like something that really like called to us. And then I know that what's it called? My brother was looking at a whole bunch of different types of words in Latin, Greek, or back then. And then after that, Leo was also looking at a whole bunch of cool names. And then for some reason, the gods of the cool names of the podcasts or the channels just said no to us, and every single name that Leo kept looking up was already taken.
And they were good names too. Like it wasn't like
good names.
Shabby. It wasn't too shabby names. It was very, very catchy, very good names. But yeah, they were all.
We have a list somewhere. We might go over it.
Yeah, they were all taken.
We should just check out those channels that took our names and. Yeah, just see, that could have been us.
How dare you take our names, even though you started like 10 years ago?
There's a couple of them that I saw, and they were actually pretty successful. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Good. Glad that they got those cool names that we wanted.
Exactly. How
and
dare
then
they?
Finally, one of these days, when my brother was talking about, we sat down and we actually hashed it out, and it took about 4 3-4-ish
We
hours.
talk about 3-4 hours. Yeah.
3-4 hours we were talking and over, and like again, Leo, every time he was looking at one, it just was taking. And then finally Leo saw a name. So I'm gonna let it go right there so he can go pick it up.
We were just looking about like, you know, what do we want to talk about, and literally just things that we were kind of like passionate about, because that's the kind of names that we're trying to come up with, whether it was like video game related, movie related, or anything like that. And then
wasn't it like one video game company that we like were looking up? I think it was like Japanese video games or something like that.
Kotaku or something.
It was Kotaku.
Yeah.
And then we kind of got an inspiration from there. Yeah.
And then it was, I looked up like passion, and like I saw like zeal and zealot, and I'm like, oh, that sounds terrible. And then we saw the word like ardent. I'm like, well, that's interesting. And Sarah really liked it. And Ace was just like, I'm just tired. Just pick a name.
I'm like, as producer, yes, that one's good.
We were always between ardent and ardency, so we weren't 100% sure. But then like we kind of like really thought about it and went over it multiple times. We were just like, you know, ardent, just straightforward. It is what it is. And then it kind of encompasses everything that we like to do, because we're very passionate in the things that we talk about and the things that we like to bring up to you guys. I mean, what's the point of talking about something if we don't really like it? Right? Yeah. So might as well. Using the platform to kind of just demonstrate the different types of viewpoints and like what we are passionate about, to talk about it and like to bring it to you, the audience, and like what you guys think is really important to us too. So, yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much how it came to be. There's still definitely going to be things that we're going to work on, of course. The kind of struggles that we've had to deal with as far as you know, all of us live in different parts of the country, and of course, like, you know, over the last years, podcasts have kind of moved to, you know, very remote, like over Zoom and Skype and stuff like that. But we kind of started this way, so we are working on that, and that's going to be fun. Someday I'll move into Ace's attic, and we'll be just fine.
we'll be neighbors.
We'll be neighbors with a mortgage.
Yeah. But what are we going to be starting to talk about more? Well, a lot of the same stuff, but break down our channel.
Yeah. So as you've heard, you know, they've said, you know, pretty much everything that we've how everything came to be. But yeah, we want to start focusing a lot on kind of the gaming, movie / TV news, industry news, and kind of mostly like kind of the trending ones that are out there. Because there is a lot of news out there, but not all of it is, I guess. I don't want to say newsworthy, because that's not a bad word. That's kind of like but it's something, you know, that, you know, we want to talk about stuff that you guys actually want to hear about, and maybe add a little like Sarah was saying, add a little bit of different perspective than what's already been written or talked about out in the interwebs. I don't know, people say interwebs anymore, man. I'm old. So yeah, so that's kind of what we're going to be focusing on, is movies, gaming, TV shows, and also we are still going to be doing our reviews for TV shows and movies. And when I say TV shows, I mean, you know, like all like the WandaVisions, the Loki, the Hawkeye series is coming out, and then
Stage 4.
Yeah,
or Phase 4.
Marvel Phase 4, and then movies that have come out that we've seen, that, you know, that we see that they've been that there's a big interest out there from the public. So we'll cover those and give our honest opinion on movies. So, you know, just fun stuff, and like we always say, you know, we really want to hear your thoughts and your opinions as well. That's what we always say, you know, leave those comments down below, because we read them, and they're pretty cool, you know. And we would like to know your take, and also like learn from the community, because I don't know everything Marvel or DC or all that stuff in the gaming, so it's always good to learn. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna be talking mostly about in this channel. We're going to be talking about that in the channel, you know, the gaming, movies, and TV news out there. And
we
on
do
that,
want to get back to like reviewing and things like that. We did. I know I wanted to review Space Jam just for the fun of it. But I didn't want the first review on our newly rebranded channel to be the most negative thing I've ever said.
Yeah, it was.
Ever. Even though our first review actually was for Wonder Woman 84, and we just
was it
that movie?
Oh,
yeah.
no.
was it our first review? Oh,
Oh,
shit,
no.
bro. Yeah,
So
I didn't know that was our first review.
We
goodness.
like stuff, okay? We like stuff sometimes.
I do remember that we like destroyed that movie. It was bad.
So bad. We tried to say good things.
We tried. We tried.
We tried. Pedro Pascal. That's the only person that had a good.
So that's gonna be our content moving forward, and we're drumming up more ideas for different channels and different things we want to do, but those will be coming out later. We haven't hashed it out everything yet, so a lot of stuff is still a work in progress. But as we kind of come to a close to this announcement podcast, one thing that I wanted to go around in a circle and say, just what's your give the I guess a good way for the community to get to know us, just saying kind of our favorite game, movie, and TV show that we've come across. It can be old, recent stuff like in those realms. I think I mean we're we're, like I said, like the name says, we're ardent, means enthusiastic and passionate. So we are passionate and enthusiastic about that industry. I mean, I'm especially passionate about the gaming industry. I think it's one of the coolest media and art forms out there. How these game developers can tell stories, and some games are beautiful. So, but yeah, I guess who wants to go first? I don't really have a thing who's gonna go first, but who wants to take a jab at it first?
All right. Come on, Sarah. You look like you want to talk.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Alrighty. So, favorite? What'd you say? Game, movie, TV show?
Movie and TV show.
Okay. Favorite game right now would be Odyssey. Odyssey was one of my favorite games from what's it called, Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
And so yeah, Odyssey was one of my favorite ones. Again, me being a whole like loving the ancient kind of classical mythologies, etc. Odyssey was like right up my alley, and I just loved it. Same thing right now. It's kind of like tied with Valhalla. I'm not gonna lie, even though like I'm still playing it. And I'm still, it's a slow burner. But then again, for somebody like me who really likes all of this Norse, Greek mythology, the classics, I think it's one of my favorites. So I really do like the Assassin's Creeds a lot.
And I got Valhalla for free, and I just couldn't keep playing. I just thought, well, this seems cool, and I just never went back.
I slowly played it. I mean, I already beat the game.
It's a grinder game for sure. Like
grinder.
You gotta keep. Yeah, no, it's a lot. Anyways, other than that, but like for me, again, because I learned all of this in school. If you guys did not know, if you're new to this channel, I just graduated with a master's in English literature, and I'm going for my medieval and PhD. So that's why I really like those things. So if you hear me, popping in a little bit with the kind of some of them comments, that's why. Okay. And well, let's see. A favorite movie, Lord of the Rings trilogy. I just, and The Hobbit. Like, I can't, like, that's it. Tolkien's like one of my favorite authors. So, yeah. And then a TV show, it's more like an anime, but Seven Deadly Sins. And if you have not seen the new season, please see the new season. It's amazing.
It's good. It's really good.
If you have not seen the show, please watch the show. It's really good, and it's on Netflix. Of course, Crunchyroll has the rest of I think it's like the 20 episodes, but right now, Netflix is taking a while. But anyways, if you have a membership from there, you're good to go. You can watch the rest of the new season. But that's on me. Yeah.
I guess I'll go next. But wait, yeah. Game, movie, TV show. As far as game goes, man, I have to say, like, really two games for me right now. If I had to say game that really like got me to just love video games, it was Zelda Ocarina of Time. for the N64, and then when I played it again on the GameCube, which when I played it on the GameCube, I actually beat it. When I played it on the 64, I never beat it because
You never beat Ocarina of Time on the 64?
No, I didn't play it until it was re-released for the GameCube.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
And I had to. I didn't have. I had to keep going to over.
Yeah.
I had to borrow it and keep going to my cousin's house to play it.
Awesome.
And finally, I finally beat it, and that was great.
Nice.
But that, like, my favorite game recently has been. Oh yeah, the Spider-Man game, the Spider-Man.
I was about to say, if he
Spider-Man
doesn't
game.
say Spider.
I've played that game so many times. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous, and it's just a perfect piece of media to me. It's just
great.
beautiful.
It's great. It's a good game. Yeah.
Yeah, movies. I mean, honestly, movies. I can't say anything other than the Star Wars trilogy, like the original Star Wars trilogy. It's just I can't say anything negative about those movies. And you know that I can rewatch those over and over again more than the prequels, more than the sequels. As much as I actually like those too, yeah, I like them a lot. You know, they definitely have their flaws, but I enjoy the
Jar Jar
story.
Binks.
I enjoy Star Wars. He should have become the Sith Lord that he was meant to do. But
the memes.
And favorite TV show is The Office. Like, that is my number one TV show of all time. Over any other type, like, you know, not just favorite sitcom, favorite TV show. I just think it was just so, you know, done so well. Definitely had its little like plot holes, and you know they screwed up sometimes. But I can watch that show any episode, anytime, and just enjoy it. Even the last couple seasons that everyone hates. But yeah, it that just kind of made me. But you can't see it here, but I have like a tower of The Office Funko Pops of all the ones. I think I'm only missing like a few of them right now, and I'm slowly getting them all.
We'll put a picture in the post. So you text me a photo.
I will.
Cool. For
you?
me, I think well, real quick, let me interject here real quick. I think one of the things that we tried to do for our name was to add the 64 in there somewhere, because we're all big fans of Nintendo, and of course, or I think all of us, Ocarina of Time holds like a near and dear spot in our gaming journey. So for me, like as well, Leo. Like Leo said, you know, for me, Ocarina of Time is one of my favorite video games that I've ever played. That's kind of what started me in the video game journey, was Ocarina of Time. But I think more if you want to say more recently, on the more recent spectrum, my favorite video game is a trilogy, the Mass Effect trilogy. It's just done so well. Even though the third one it has its flaws. But if I were to pick one of them in all three of them, it would be Mass Effect 2. I think that one was the best one out of all of them. The storyline was great. The characters were awesome. So that one would be my favorite video game. And you know, I've enjoyed the I didn't really like the brand new one, the Mass Effect Andromeda. It was not that great. So but hey, I know that they're working on a new one for Mass Effect, so hopefully it's better. And then favorite movie, my favorite movie of all time is Jurassic Park, because dinosaurs, and that's all I gotta say. No, just kidding.
That's core.
Dinosaurs. Talk about that CGI, bruv.
The what?
The CGI, bruv.
The CGI. Yeah, I mean, I know that, you know, that Jurassic Park is, you know, like, what if you watch it now, it's like it can be kind of cheesy, because you can tell which animals or which dinosaurs are like CGI'd and which ones are like are claymations and animatronics. And it was one of the movies that we know that first integrated the CGI in the movie. So that's kind of why I like it. You know, it was a good story, and of course Steven Spielberg is my favorite director. So he directed the film, and you know, I wouldn't consider myself a movie buff or a film buff, but I do like, you know, some some movies that have historical significance in the film, in the film universe, and Jurassic Park does, just because it was one of the first to integrate that the new CGI technology at the time in the movies, and it was great, and I just liked it. Um, and favorite TV show, there's a lot. I mean, I've been starting to get I've been starting in my journey into anime. I started a little bit later than most people, but I haven't quite found like a favorite one there yet. There's been a lot of good ones that I've enjoyed, but my favorite TV show that I've liked is also a sitcom, but it's Parks and Rec. I love Parks and Rec, man. It's so funny. It's so good. I can go back like you, Leo. I can go back and watch that show all the time, and it still makes me laugh every time I go back. And the same jokes make me laugh. The same situations make me laugh, even though I've seen it like hundreds of times. It still makes me laugh. It's so good. It's done so well. And I'm pretty sure some of the producers that worked in The Office worked on Parks and Rec, because it kind of has that same, I won't say like same dry humor, but it derives a lot of it from that same kind of stylish with that sitcom style. But I mean, you got some of the best comedians to come out of, like Amy Poehler and a whole bunch of other ones that are just they've just been so great. So yeah, but those are my three. So I guess I think that does it for us today from this announcement / favorite stuff podcast. Any last words?
Yeah, it's a little bit longer than like per usual that we have, but again, one more time, if you have stuck around for this long and you really like to hear our opinions, we also would like to hear your comments below. Maybe some suggestions of things that you want us to watch. Maybe a couple of things that you say, hey, why don't you talk about this, or have you heard about that? We love to hear it. Please comment, like, and subscribe. As per usual, we are here to just give you the intel of what we have in our magnificent minds. And, we just want to keep talking to you guys and make this podcast grow. So if you like our content and you think that others would also like our content, please share our link with them as well. And we would love to just hear what you guys have to say.
So until next time, you guys, I'm Leo.
I'm Ace.
And I'm Sarah. All right, see you later.
Bye.